The topic of this video is kind of personal to me because every time I explain this story, I get mixed reaction from people. Some people look at me weird, or some people will feel sorry for me. And I don't want people to think I'm weird, and I really don't want them to feel sorry for me. I just want people to understand and be informed. So let's talk about why I removed all my teeth. So let me just break it down really quick. I have an eating disorder called pica. Pica is the kind of eating disorder that can make you have cravings or eat things such as glue, clay, or in my case, erasers. And I can't remember what caused me to eat erasers of all things. It just kind of tasted really good to me. And it didn't help that everybody called me the weird kid in school. I remember one day in elementary, these two boys in my class came up to me and dared me to eat an eraser. They thought I would be too scared to do it. And I kind of proved them wrong. And I know what you're thinking. Why didn't the teachers or my parents get involved? I kept this secret hidden from my teachers. And as for my mom, well, she neglected me a lot. My childhood wasn't the best. And I think because of my childhood, my eating disorder got worse and worse. I remember coming home one day and there would be nothing really to eat. I didn't really want to bother my mom with what we were going to have for dinner. So I went to my room and started on some homework. And every time that I felt that I was hungry, I would pull out a piece of paper and start erasing. And then when I had enough eraser shavings, I would eat them. I would do this for several years. From elementary to middle school to high school, I was just erasing my life away. Eventually, I left my mother and started a new life. But I never told anybody my secret. But that's when my husband found out. He had came home one day and I had relapse. I had so much eraser shavings on me that it covered my entire shirt and there was no way of hiding the evidence. And I thought he would be more weirded out by it. But instead, he was more concerned about my health. Because when I was 19 and 20, I weighed about 90 pounds and I was very skinny for my age. I would get hospitalized a lot because I was anemic and I had low iron deficiency. And I would always have really bad migraines because I wasn't eating. And in my early 20s, I would relapse a lot. I would come home from work really depressed. And my husband and I worked different shifts. So it was very easy for me to sneak in and eat an eraser without him knowing. But one day in 2015, I woke up with the worst pain in my mouth ever. It was like my entire bottom jaw was being poked at by a drill. And every time that I would eat something, it would be so painful. I remember eating breakfast one morning and I bit down really hard on something. I had spit it out to see what it was. And I saw that there were little white particles sticking out of my food. I ran straight to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. One of my teeth had been chipped away. And at first, I was too scared to tell anybody what was going on. But then a few days later, things started to get even worse. More of my teeth started to chip away and the pain started to become more unbearable. So I asked my husband if he could take me to the dentist. The last time I went to the dentist, I was in high school and I had all my wisdom teeth removed. So it's been a while since I had a checkup. And I found out they were not going to remove some of my teeth. They were going to remove my entire bottom mouth. Apparently, I needed several root canals. And nobody told me the metal fillings that were in my mouth were causing me to have a horrible infection to my gums. And to top it all off, my teeth were slowly deteriorating. And keep this in mind, I was 22 at this point. You know, I always thought that I was going to get old and lose all my teeth. But I didn't think that I would be young and lose all my teeth. Because when you're young, that's when you're supposed to be smiling the most. But guess what? I wasn't smiling. I never was. I was depressed every single day. I was in pain every single day. And if this was causing me so much pain, why not remove them? Right? It'll make you healthier, right? Don't you want to live a happy, healthy life? Don't you want to smile? Those thoughts ran back and forth through my mind all the time, and they never seemed to stop. At 22, I had to make the hardest decision of my life, but deep down inside, I felt like I was making a horrible mistake. I felt like this was my punishment. I felt like this was my punishment for being born. I felt like this was my punishment for eating so many erasers. I felt like this was my punishment for keeping so many secrets. At 22, I felt like I didn't deserve to be happy. So I told my dentist to remove all of my teeth. I didn't think I would smile ever again. I spent about 2 weeks recovering, and I lost a lot of blood. And during my recovery, my husband was standing with me by my side. Eventually, my physical pain went away, but my mental pain was still there. It was really hard at times to look in the mirror and see that your smile is gone. I didn't feel pretty, and I would stop taking pictures of myself. I felt really ashamed of myself when I walked around my husband. He would introduce me to his friends, and I would just be too shy to talk to them. But for some reason, that didn't bother him. The way I looked didn't bother him. One day I asked my husband, why is he still with me? And he said, because you make me happy. And when he said that, something clicked into my mind. I make him happy. I make him happy. Even though I don't show it, I'm always happy.